Citizenship and Leadership Training Center. She shall be talking on the concept and history of man o' war. Madam, you are welcome to today's program.
Good morning, and good morning, our dear listeners. Coincidentally, it's a new month, so happy new month to everyone out there.
Thank you very much. I remain your anchor person, Oriloye Antonia. Madam, we've been hearing about man o' war, man o' war, man o' war. Man o' war is an household name as far as Nigeria is concerned. Who are the man o' war?
Thank you very much. Man o' war are Nigerian youths who have volunteered to serve the nation in the area of citizenship and leadership training. They encourage other youths to be disciplined, to be responsible, to be law-abiding. Basically, we can call them role models for the youth out there.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us the relationship Citizenship and Leadership Training Center has with man o' war?
Yes, it's a very good question. The relationship between Citizenship and Leadership Training Center dates far back many years ago when the center was established. The Citizenship and Leadership Training Center presently, it's a parastatal under the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, while the man o' war, a baby of the center, it's a voluntary youth organization. In a nutshell, we can say the center is saddled with the responsibility of the supervision of man o' war, the formation of man o' war, the guidelines, and everything that concerns man o' war. And again, too, the man o' war is the second mandate of the center.
Thank you very much. From your explanation, as regards the relationship between man o' war and citizenship, you mentioned man o' war as the baby of CLTC. Did they start with Citizenship and Leadership Training Center? And if not, when did man o' war start in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Basically, no one can give you the exact date that the man o' war organization started. The Citizenship and Leadership Training Center actually started in 1951 in southern Cameroon, and after the first group of participants that attended the program at the Bay then in southern Cameroon, when they returned back to their different bays, both in Ogo and Kaduna where they came from, they decided that all they have learned for the past 3 weeks where they spent there should be practicalized. And we stumbled on a memo that was written in 1955 that particularly requested people who attended that program. And I think that memo originated from the Ministry of Social Services, Northern Nigeria Regional Government, Kaduna then, that participants who attended the program should come and form a forum where they can teach their friends all they have learned, and if possible, they can form clubs. That gathering gave birth to the different groups we see today. So invariably, no one can tell you that man o' war started at a particular date or a time.
Thank you very much. What are their functions? What are the functions of man o' war in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Yes, their functions. Just like every group and every organization, the man o' war has a lot of functions. Like if you see them in our environment, if you see them in the different places, you can see sometimes they conduct traffic, they act as orderlies, but basically they have functions that is being spelled out for them in their code of conduct. And it includes they shall embark on rescue and disaster exercise. And what that means is wherever there are disasters and rescue issues, they team up with other relevant organizations and they participate. They also provide services that will bring about development and healthier Nigerian community. In fact, they serve as a potential reserve and volunteer force for all security agencies. I'll talk a little about this. Most of our man o' war members, in fact, they are easily recruited into the military and the paramilitary organizations because they already have that basic ingredients of being a disciplined person, somebody that can be regimented. Then again, they engage in value reorientation and sensitization of citizenship program through the promotion of social welfare, culture, and economic well-being. And they also act as personnel who gather information and give them to the relevant authorities. Their functions vary from place to place. Sometimes you go to some offices, you see them as security personnel. At some other time again, you could go out and you see them at strategic places performing different functions. So the list is endless. The list is endless.
Thank you very much. In case you are just joining us, this is CLTCR on Citizen FM 93.7. And our guest this morning is Dr. Mrs. Alero Abukwara Ajekota, Director, Operations and Rescue, Citizenship and Leadership Training Center. And the topic for discussion this morning is the history of man o' war and the concepts. Then, based on what you have said, man o' war is really playing a very great role in Nigeria. I think it is an organized body an average Nigerian youth should belong based on the functions you have mentioned or that you have itemized. Can you tell us how one can become a member of this organized body called man o' war?
Yes. Well, basically, you can join man o' war by applying wherever you find them and wherever you see them. And if it's in the community, you see them, you approach them, you pick their forms. If you are the type who have attended the center's program, from the center you can ask questions because you already have one of the prerequisites to belong to any of the man o' war groups. You ask, I've just finished my program and I'm going back to my environment, where can I get them? You'll be given the real address of where you can join and how you can join.
Thank you very much. What guides the recruitment of man o' war?
Yes, what guides the recruitment of man o' war? And before we go on, I would say that we have different procedures that guides the different groups that we have. For example, in the primary and in the secondary school, when they come for our leadership training program in the center, because some of the secondary school, like the unity schools, is compulsory. Before you became a prefect, you must attend our training programs. Likewise, other private secondary schools. So after attending the program, when they return back to their school, they are encouraged to form man o' war clubs in their school. And with this, they come together as members of man o' war clubs in the school. And at this point, they are called cadets. And I think if it's in primary school, they'll say, okay, from when you clock 7 and above, But once you're in secondary school, after attending our leadership training program, when they get back, they are encouraged to come together with the guidance of their house masters or their teacher who brought them for the training. They form the club, and from there they become members of the Man-O-War Club. Then in the tertiary institution, we also have them there too. And basically, they are called the Numochin because they are in the higher school. It's called National Union of Man-O-War Clubs in Higher Institution in Nigeria. So there too, when you find yourself in a tertiary institution, you can approach them and tell them that if you have the Man-O-War presence in your school, and you tell them that you want to become a member, and when you meet the criteria, you are enlisted as a member, and there are other conditions you will fulfill too, because definitely when you join in the tertiary school, you are also made to go to the nearest center available to participate in the leadership training program, because it's a prerequisite. Then when we come to the community-based, the criteria are as follows. You must be 18 years and above, and for such group, the minimum educational qualification must be senior secondary school. Then that individual who wants to join must be somebody without criminal record, must have not been convicted of any crime, and the person shall not belong to any form of secret cult, and the person must be medically fit and must be honest. And in fact, you must have a guarantor who will say, oh yes, he can vouch for your character. And again, the person must be gainfully employed or self-employed, because if he or she is not gainfully employed or self-employed, the aim of joining the association might be defeated.
Thank you very much. What are the types of Man-O-War we have here in Nigeria?
Yes, as I was trying to explain how to join, I've already given out the different types. We have the clubs and we have the association. And like I've already mentioned, the clubs are for those in the primary, secondary, and in the tertiary schools, while for the ones in the community-based, it's called the association. So invariably, we can say that we have two types of the Man-O-War: the clubs and the association.
To every organized body or association or group, there are usually aims and objectives. These are what stands to guide the organization to achieving our purpose. Can you tell us the aims and objectives of Man-O-War?
Yes, thank you very much. Like every organization that we belong to, every group come together for a purpose, and Man-O-War is not an exception. Being a voluntary organization, one of the aims and objectives is to render social voluntary services to the community in which they find themselves. You see, sometimes in our community we lack a lot of things. Sometimes it could be that the roads are really not too accessible. You will see the Man-O-War people, they will volunteer. They will come. They try and make the road motorable. Sometimes we will be in an environment where traffic congestion is a major issue. They will come and clear traffic congestion. So that one is under the voluntary aspect. Then they also, one of the objective is they embark on purposeful and educational exploration. We can say that they encourage their members to discover and rediscover themselves. Like in the center, which basically is to create awareness. So when the man of war people come together, they're also given this opportunity to discover themselves, to know their strengths and their weaknesses, to know how to encourage one another, and so forth. They also encourage their members to embark on the spirit of, to imbibe the spirit of patriotism and a sense of leadership. You know, in our present day country, that is one of our greatest challenge. In fact, sometimes when people hear the national anthem, they don't even know that they need to stand. You could hear the national anthem and people are moving. These are some of the things that tell you that our people are not really that patriotic. So I think it's part of the objective of the man of war. They come teach the people around them what it means to be patriotic, and again they encourage their members to be law abiding. You know, you bear me witness that in our present day environment, we see people as little as the traffic lights. They don't even obey it. So you see that sometimes when they carry out the sensitization program, they educate the people, they educate the community on the essence why they should be law abiding and so on. And also when it comes to rendering rescue and emergency services to the community, is also one of their aims and objective of coming together, and also to promote productivity and entrepreneurship for all and sundry.
Thank you very much. Then, what is the organogram of man of war organization?
Thank you very much. Man of war organogram, the structure. Well, I can tell you that the man of war organogram, the structure varies, because at the national level we have them, at the state level we have them, at the local level we also have them. At the national level we have the national commander, and the national commander being the highest ranking officer, their head. Then after the national commander, we have different offices, the deputy national commanders. Then apart from that, we have the assistant national commanders. Then again, when you look at the regional, we have the 6 geopolitical zones. They have regional commanders, regional offices. They have deputy regional officers, like that, assistant regional officers. When we come to the states, we have the state commanders, deputy state commanders, assistant state commanders, and so on. All these are broken down into subgroup and subunits. And in all these, even they seem that they function independently, they are intertwined, because the flow of information comes from bottom to top and top to bottom.
Thank you very much. Once again, if you are just joining us, this is CLTCR on Citizen FM 93.7. And our guest still remains Dr. Mrs. Alera Bukwara Adjekota, the Director, Operations and Rescue, Citizenship and Leadership Training Center. And she's still talking on the topic, the concept and the history of man of war in Nigeria. Then, this takes me to this question as to know if man of war is a paramilitary organization. Is it a paramilitary organization?
From my earlier submissions, it's already clear that man of war is not a paramilitary organization. But people already have that erroneous impression. Man of war is a voluntary organization because they are not paid. They volunteer themselves in the aspects of citizenship and leadership training activities. They want to give, they want to serve, They are not being paid. They are not under the payroll of anybody. Instead, they use their time, they use their talent, they use their treasure in working for the good and the progress of the community they find themselves. So I can categorically tell you that Manuwo is a voluntary organization.
Going into any venture or into any business, the first thing you look at is the benefit attached to such. On that note, can you please tell us the benefits a Manuwo member stands to get by membership of this organized body?
Thank you very much. There are lots of benefits, a lot. Being a member of Manuwo, they have the opportunity of being trained in the center. And each time they are being trained in the center, they are trained at a very subsidized rate. Yes. Then again, they assist the center in the training of core members on citizenship and leadership training skills in NYSC orientation camps and in peace building. Coincidentally, today, Batch C Stream 1 orientation is starting in all the NYSC orientation camps. And as I talk to you now, training officers and instructors are there already with members of Manuwo on ground who are going to work and train these core members on citizenship and leadership training for the next 3 weeks. Again, they serve their community in strategic ways. Like I mentioned before, they are also a ready pool of being recruited. You know, every organization who wants to recruit, they always want somebody or persons who are disciplined, who can obey laws. And our Manuwo members, they are ready pool for being recruited into the military and paramilitary organizations. And like I also said, wherever they find themselves, in fact, they are given recognition, because Manuwo also is a uniform organization. So when they are in their uniform, it makes them stand out. And in our environment, we also tend to give respect to persons who wear uniform. So even when they are wearing their uniforms, they stand out, they are given recognitions, and so on and so forth.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much, madam. Listeners out there, we shall be going on a short break, and to be back again, please stay tuned.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, we believe in progressive talk and solution-driven conversation. Our aim is to build a united Nigeria by bringing people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dream. Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dream. Citizen FM. Citizen FM. Yeah. Your problem is my problem, and my joy is your joy.
It has just begun.
Check it out.
Rescan your dial. Now.
You found it.
You found it.
Citizen
93.7 FM.
Abuja.
We are the best.
The best. To 93.7 Citizen FM. Based in Nigeria's capital.
Your number one radio station.
You are welcome back to CLTCR on Citizen FM 93.7. And our topic remains the concept and history of man war. And our guest still remains Dr. Mrs. Alero Abukwara Jokota, the Director of Operations and Rescue, Citizenship and Leadership Training Center. And I still remain your anchor person, Oriloye Antonia. Thank you very much. And for those of you that are joining us, the program still remains C and LTCR. Thank you very much. What are the benefits of being a man war member? What are the benefits of being a man war member?
I think we actually started talking on that before we went on break, and we have already outlined some of the benefits. I said that they have the opportunity of being trained in the center, and like I said before we went on break, and that they assist the center in the training of core members on citizenship and leadership training. And like I said before we actually went on break, I said coincidentally today, batch C stream 2 core members are reporting in all the 37 camps of the federation, and we'll be having man o' war in all the camps. In all the camps, they will be there for the next 3 weeks to guide them to work with these core members in the area of citizenship and leadership training. And in the camp, when they come out, is all man o' war activities. Yeah, and if you can see that if they are not part and parcel of the man o' war crew, they won't even have this opportunity of even working in such forum. And again, I said that they are a ready pool of being recruited into the military and paramilitary organizations. I really don't want to divulge some names, but I can tell you that if we go by statistics, in the past 5 years or thereabouts, we have had over 30 man o' war personnel who have been enlisted into the military, the Air Force, the Navy, and so on, because they are a ready pool of disciplined men and women, and they have been tested, proven men of integrity who people can vouch for, because that badge that they carry on their chests, it's something that you don't just go out and misbehave. In fact, they are disciplined people. So I said they are easily recognized everywhere. They are disciplined fellows. When they are wearing their uniforms, in fact, they are giving respect, they are giving recognitions. And to say the least, these are some of the benefits of being a man o' war member, amongst others.
Thank you very much. To everybody, especially an organized body, there are usually responsibilities attached to such. Can you tell us the responsibilities of man o' war to the society?
Yes. And I think in the course of discussion, by way of their functions, by way of their aims and objectives, in fact, indirectly we have been able to start, in fact, the listeners can even start picking some of the responsibilities to the society from all I've been saying, from the functions, is there, and then I can I could say that they embark on community sensitization, on civic education, and the new political culture of non-violence. In fact, they are there in the environment. In fact, anywhere you see man o' war presence in a society, the difference is always clear, because once there is community development projects or activities, they come out en mass, they come out with full force, because it's, in fact, they have a forum where they send in their reports of what they do in their various communities. So every state, every group really wants to shine. Even in fact, they want to get the medals, they want to get the laurels. When they go out on their community program, they send pictures, they send us what they do. Also, again, they go to schools and do projects. They go to schools and they do projects. In fact, the female arm of the man o' war, the last one, the last report I read about the female arm, they went to a girls' school and they sensitized the young ladies on good personal hygiene. Why, as a young lady, you should be neat, you should be clean, you should keep yourselves free from dirt. In fact, they even went the extra mile of going there with a pad, teaching the young girls how to take care of their menstrual cycles and the rest, how to use the sanitary pad, because basically every young girl needs it at every point in time. That one was a very good outing and is under their community sensitization. Again, they collaborate with law enforcement agencies in maintaining law and order. Like I've mentioned, when we find ourselves, we always see one or two persons who want to disobey traffic, who want to cause commotions. You always see there in their different environments. They come, they collaborate with our different law enforcement agents, and they help to maintain law and order. At the traffic lights, you will just see them. If you are trying to break the traffic lights, they will tell you, hey, stop. These are some of the little things that they do. Then again, when we go to some functions, you see them, they act as security. In some of our local environments, they actually act as their security personnel there. They come together, they make sure that, yes, nobody comes here and trespass. They keep the place safe. And even if there are gatherings, they also do some security work also. And we can also say that they provide community profiling and information gathering. That's one that's on the higher security level. If, for example, there are issues in a particular environment, they are detailed to go to the nook and corner of where they are. And because they know their community, they go around their community, they gather information that will be very, very useful to relevant agencies. And again, their responsibility in the aspect of being in the spiritual way. Sometimes when they are doing Jumat service, you will see them in full force. They will come out, they will conduct traffic. They also do something like they help arrange where they perform their ablution. At least I've witnessed that one. They'll come help arrange kettles and different things. Those are some of the petty things they can do in their various environment. And sometimes too, I think there's a community that I visited. I witnessed them doing this bopper job. They go from house to house, especially the less privileged and the widows. Then that they identify the challenges of the people there. Like I remember there was one community that we visited. There's this widow that was there. She just there, I think, with her little grandchild or so. The man o' war members helped her, filled her containers, did a lot of things. So you can see that even as they benefit being man-o-war members, they also give back to the society wherever they find themselves. They give back in numerous ways. Like I know of a particular farm right now in this FCT. They are there, and I think they've been commended more than twice that since they started working there as security details, in fact, the cases of theft have reduced drastically. In fact, and also there's an estate too that is using them for services. They've also written a commendation letter to us that since they got man-o-war members there as their security detail, in fact, the estate routine is more organized, everything is orderly. So you can see that they give back so much to the society. They give back so much to the society. And the list is endless.
Thank you very, very much. Our topic still remains the concept and history of man-o-war. From what you have said so far regarding their functions and responsibilities, it shows the presence of man-o-war in the society signifies orderliness, if we get you right.
Yes. In fact, you already asked a question, maybe based on how you perceive them, that are they paramilitary? Because one of the basic ingredients the CLTC use in our training program is regimented. So the man-o-war members, they've already gotten used to this regimental way of life. They obey orders, they'll say obey the last order and so on and so forth. So you could say that yes, orderliness is key, is one of the basic ingredients when you are mentioning CLTC or man-o-war. Discipline, orderliness, obeying the rule of order and so on. So we could say that yes, orderliness is a priority, discipline and so on.
For everything that has a beginning, definitely has an end. To this extent, can you tell us the retirement age of being a man-o-war member?
Wow, retirement age. Well, personally, you can see I'm laughing because retirement age of being a man-o-war member, maybe it is after this program we'll go and maybe think of having a retirement age. But basically, if I'm to answer your question right now, there is nothing like retirement age, because when somebody wants to volunteer, it is in the spirit of volunteerism. You can say that although they come in from the ones in the primary and in the secondary school, they come in from age 7. The ones in the community, they come in from age 18. And you say we've already said one of the criteria to make you to serve purposefully, you must be gainfully employed or you must be self-employed, because you are a volunteer. You are coming to use your 3 T's, your time, your talent, and your treasure. And when it comes to volunteerism, you are coming to give. So it's not necessarily that because you are old, you cannot volunteer. If you can no more use your strength, you can also use your resources. You cannot just sit down there and advise. There is no retirement age for being a man-o-war member. And for those actually who are truly old, they become elder statesmen, they become patrons, and in the forum, they are the ones the younger members fall back on when there are issues to be resolved. They go down memory lane and say, oh, this is what happened at so time and so time. And there's something my DG will call institutional memory. The elder statesmen are the ones who will always give you some information that you will need. So there is nothing like retirement age at all when it comes to man-o-war, because once you have decided to volunteer, you will be doing what you will do until your last breath.
Wow, it's good to note here from your explanation so far that Manowar is a selfless service. They offer selfless service to the society. And the Manowar is not a full-time job, but a voluntary one, where you still have your job intact. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah. Going further, what is the coverage of Manowar in Nigeria?
Yes, the coverage of Manowar in Nigeria. I can basically tell you that the Manowar is in the 36 states and FCT. We also have the railway commands. And if we have to go further, their presence is everywhere. When we talk about coverage, we have the area command, where in every local government it is covered. When you go from one local government to the other, you will see their presence there. They're in the different local government areas. Then when you come to even the state level, they're in all the states. You will see them there. Then when we look at the national level, they are there in the national, the directorate headquarters, they are there also. So Manowar is in every nook and corner of the country. I can just tell you that Manowar is in the 774 local government area of Nigeria, because there is no local government that you will go that you will not see the presence of Manowar there. They are everywhere. And I think at this point too, even in our secondary schools, they are there also. So you apart from seeing them in our communities, they are also there in our secondary schools. They are there in the tertiary institution. So in fact, the coverage is wide. The coverage is wide.
Thank you very much. Manowar members are seen by the general public as warriors, or they attack warriors. Are they truly warriors? Do they fight wars? Who are they?
This question can be answered in two ways. When you say warriors, it depends how you are looking at it. Is it warriors or in the fight of they fight, being violent, or what? If it is that, I can categorically tell you that no, they are not warriors in that regard. But if we are looking at being advocate of good citizenship, good leadership, being patriotic, being disciplined, being law-abiding, being their brother's keeper, in fact, wherever they find themselves, they stand out, I would say yes, they are warriors in that regard. And they are warriors till the end, because wherever they find themselves, they stand out. They want to let people know that yes, they are a disciplined organization. They obey the last order. They are always good to go. They are always ready to take instructions. They are always ready to take commands. So they are warriors in that regard, because they stand for what is right. They stand for the truth. They stand for justice. They stand for fairness. They stand for equity. And in all, that we can tag them as yes, they are warriors. And I can also say that they are warriors of CLTC, because they are like vanguards who go out and propagate the good news of the CLTC. Haven't gotten first-hand training, haven't gotten the first-hand basic ingredient from the CLTC. In fact, they are the ready transmitter that goes out to the society to start infecting, let me use that word, to start infecting people with good citizenship and leadership. You know, there is already a proof that one man can positively affect 10 lives. So if one man attends our training program, that man or woman member will go and affect 10 lives. Then if 10 man or woman members come out from CLTC, that is times 10. They will go out and affect 10 people. So you can see that they have worked. In fact, they are our warriors, our vanguards. They go out there, they tell the people what it takes to be good leaders. They tell the people what it takes to be responsible citizens. They go out, they tell the people what it takes to be patriotic. They go out there, they tell the people what it takes to be law-abiding. In fact, you find out that when it comes to being law-abiding, people tend to cut corners. People, in fact, when people say that nobody watches them, they tend to want to disobey, they want to shunt, they want to jump queues. But when they go out, they sensitize the public that yes, you can stay on the queue, you can obey simple instructions, you don't have to shunt, in fact, you must be law-abiding. In fact, you don't have to drop your litter on the streets. In fact, when you have your litter, you must make sure you see a refuse bin before you drop. In fact, if it is in that regard, yes, they are our warriors. But when it comes to being warriors of, they indulge in fighting, they indulge in nefarious activities, I would tell you, no, they are not warriors in that regard. But when it comes to good things that the CLTC preaches, good things, being compassionate, working as a team, looking out for your neighbor, in the area of respect and so on, yes, they are our warriors when it comes to that, because they will definitely continue to give out the basic ingredients that have been impacted from our CLTC trainings to whoever and wherever they find themselves.
Thank you so much. On a final note, what is your training center having in stock for manual? What is your training center having in stock for manual?
Final note. Yeah, okay. The center has a lot in store for the manual. Like I've been saying, that they have the opportunity of being trained in the center. By the special grace of God, before the year runs out, there's something we call the DG's course. That's a program that is sponsored by the center for the manual members. Before the end of this year, all things being equal, that program should take place, because when they come on such programs, they are trained and retrained, they are equipped, they are exposed. In fact, we look at what happens in our present day country and equip them. And I think that program is already in the pipeline. Apart from that, we also have this program of reintroduction of manual into secondary schools. You and I know that today there are so many juvenile delinquencies, there are so many ills in the society, and we need to go back to those good old days where you will see something, and in fact the young one will frown at it. There are a lot of issues in the society. Is it cultism? As far as in secondary school now, there's cults, and before now it wasn't like that. Even in the secondary school, they are already abusing drugs. In fact, things that you can never imagine that is happening in our schools. So we want to use this manual platform in secondary school, and that's why we tagged it reintroduction of manual in secondary schools, in curbing the social ills in the society. We'll use that as a way to bring them back to on track. We'll have to tell them, why would you want to take drugs? Why would you want to shorten your God-given potentials? Because no man or woman under the influence of drug does well. No, it's always in the negative. So we are using that platform to tell our secondary school pupils that, see, You can excel in your academics without drugs. You can excel in your academics without cheating. You can excel in your academic being focused, just being law-abiding, studying and doing what is right. And again, the center has other programs on rescue and disaster management for the man o' war. And that, in fact, we are already putting finishing touches to that program. We have already put in finishing touches to that program, and then we know that once that program stream, we are going to have a strong faculty of men and women who will be readily available to assist other relevant organizations or groups when there are disasters or where there are issues in our environment. So the center has a lot in store for them, a lot. In fact, I don't really need to start bringing so much out of the bag, because sometimes when you bring out all the stories, it will no longer be news. So, but I can assure you that the center has so much, because the man o' war being the baby of the center, in fact, a mother must take care of her baby. So being a baby of the center, the man o' war is the number one. You have to look after them, give them what is good, give them training and retraining program, enlightenment campaign, and so on and so forth. There is even a lecture series that is being put together that will be done on a monthly basis. Those in the FCT who can be on ground, while those in the other states will watch via Zoom, to tell you that the center is looking out for the man o' war.
Thank you very much. As we have heard from the Director Rescue and Operations, CLTC, Dr. Mrs. Alera Bukwara Jikota, the man o' war is an organized body and is the baby of the center, which is the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center, a government agency under the Federal Ministry of Youth that is saddled with the responsibility of reorientating the Nigerian youth with the hope of having an organized society devoid of vices.
Yes.
On this note, we want to appreciate your coming, believing when next we call upon you, you will answer us. And to our amiable listeners out there, we want to appreciate you for your time. And please don't hesitate in joining us for same program CLTCR, same time, same station. Till we come your way again next week, we say thank you and God bless.